Hi everyone. In the previous lecture, we have seen projection of a vector on another vector, in which we have studied scalar projection and vector projection. Also, we have seen the direction angles of a vector, then direction ratios of a vector, and then direction cosines of a vector. Also, we have seen the relation between direction ratios and direction cosines. And in today's lecture, we are going to solve the examples from exercise 5.3, which are based on projection and direction angles. So let's see first example. Show that sum of lengths of projections on coordinate axis where P is equal to 2, Q is equal to 3 and R is equal to 4 is 9. So see, here we have to show that the sum of the projections of P into I cap plus Q into J cap plus R into K cap on coordinate axis where P is 2, Q is 3 and R is 4 is 9. So see here, let A bar is equal to P into I cap plus Q into J cap plus R into K cap. This is your given vector. Also it is given that P is equal to 2, Q is equal to 3 and R is equal to 4. Now see, if this is three-dimensional system, these are coordinate axes, and if this is your vector A bar, this is your vector A bar, then if this is x-axis, then this length is the projection of A bar on x-axis. Similarly, we can find projection of A bar on y-axis, projection of A bar on z-axis. We know that along x-axis there is a unit vector I cap, along y-axis there is a unit vector j cap, and along z-axis there is a unit vector k cap. So let I cap, j cap, k cap be unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis respectively. So projection of A bar on x-axis is projection of A bar on I cap. So projection of A bar on x-axis is projection of A bar on I cap. So projection of, see here, projection of A bar on x-axis is equal to projection of A bar on I cap. So projection of A bar on I cap is A bar, it's a dot with I cap divided by magnitude of I cap. So it is equal to A bar, this is Pi cap plus Qj cap plus Rk cap. It's a dot with I cap divided by magnitude of vector I cap. See, I cap is the unit vector, so its magnitude is 1. J cap is the unit vector, its magnitude is 1. K cap is the unit vector, its magnitude is 1. So it is 1. It is equal to. Now the dot product of these two vectors is nothing but P into I cap dot I cap divided by 1. That is, you know that I cap dot I cap is 1. So P into 1 divided by 1, that is P. And what is the value of P? The P is 2. So it is equal to 2. Projection of A bar on x-axis is equal to P, and that is 2. Similarly, projection of A bar on y-axis is nothing but the projection of A bar on J cap. Projection of, similarly, projection of A bar on y-axis is equal to projection of A bar on J cap, and projection of A bar on J cap is A bar dot J cap divided by magnitude of vector J. Magnitude of vector J. Again it is equal to Pi cap plus Qj cap plus Rk cap. It's a dot with J cap divided by magnitude of vector J, that is that J cap is unit vector, so its magnitude is 1. Again it is equal to the dot product of these two vectors is Q into J cap, it's a dot with J cap. Remaining terms 0. So that's why only we write here Q into J cap dot J cap divided by 1. It is, you know that J cap dot J cap is 1, so it is Q, and what the value of Q is 3. Value of Q is 3. Similarly, we can find projection of A bar on Z axis. See here, projection of A bar on x axis, that is P, projection of A bar on y axis, that is Q. So similarly, projection of A bar on Z axis, that is R, and R is equal to 4. In this case, we have to show that the sum of the projections of P bar, P into I cap plus Q into J cap plus R into K cap, means sum of the projections of A bar on coordinate axis is 9. So let's see the sum of these three projections. Sum of projections of A bar on coordinate axis is equal to P plus Q plus R, and that is, what is P? It is 2 plus 3 plus 4, and it is equal to 9, and that is what we want to show. The sum of the projections is 9, hence proved. So this is the complete solution for first. First, find separately the projection of A bar on x axis, y axis and z axis, and then add together them. So it is 9. Next question. If a vector has direction angles, if a vector has direction angles, (45° and 60°), 45° and 60°, find the third direction angle. Find the third direction angle. See, here we know that alpha, beta, gamma, these are the direction angles of line or of a vector. Direction angles means the angles made by the line which positive x-axis, positive y-axis and positive z-axis respectively. Now here direction angles of a line are given, or direction angles of a vector are given. Two direction angles are given, means alpha and beta are given. We have to find out gamma. So let alpha, beta, gamma are direction angles of a vector. So alpha is equal to 45 degree, beta is equal to 60 degree and gamma is not given, that we have to find out. Let L, M, N are direction cosines, or in short we can write DCs, direction cosines of a vector, but read it as direction cosines. So therefore L is equal to cos alpha, M is equal to cos beta and N is equal to cos of gamma. We have the relation. What we have? L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. What is L? Cos alpha. What is M? Cos beta. And N is cos of gamma. Taking square, cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. But here alpha is 45 degree, beta is 60 degree. So therefore cos square of alpha means cos square of 45 degree plus cos square of 60 degree plus cos square of gamma is equal to 1. We know that cos of 45 degree is 1 upon root 2. So it is 1 upon root 2 bracket square plus cos of 60 degree is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 square plus cos square of gamma is equal to 1. So it is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus cos square of gamma is equal to 1. Now it is, make the denominator same. So it is 2 divided by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus cos square of gamma is equal to 1. So therefore the addition of these two terms is 2 by 4 plus 1 by 4, that becomes 3 by 4. 3 by 4 plus cos square of gamma is equal to 1. So cos square of gamma is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4, that is 4 minus 3 by 4, and that is 1 by 4. So cos square of gamma is equal to 1 by 4. So cos gamma is equal to plus or minus 1 by 2. It means we have two values of cos of gamma, plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2. So first cos of gamma is equal to 1 by 2 or cos of gamma is equal to minus 1 by 2. We know that cos of 60 degree is 1 by 2. It means cos of pi by 3 is equal to 1 by 2. So here we can write cos of gamma is equal to cos of pi by 3, or cos of gamma is equal to minus cos of pi by 3. Cos of gamma is equal to pi by 3 means directly from first equation we can write gamma is equal to pi by 3. Pi by 3 means 60 degree. Or cos of gamma is equal to minus cos of pi by 3. Here we have to use allied angle formulae. We know that cos is negative in second quadrant. So we can use here cos of pi minus theta. Formula for cos of pi minus theta. So it is cos of gamma is equal to cos of pi minus pi by 3, because we know that cos of pi minus theta, cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. Cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta, means minus cos theta can be written as cos of pi minus theta. That is gamma is equal to pi by 3 or cos of gamma is equal to pi minus pi by 3 become 3 pi minus pi, that is 2 pi divided by 3. It is cos of 2 pi by 3. So therefore gamma is equal to pi by 3 or gamma is equal to 2 pi by 3. Pi by 3 means 60 degree and 2 pi by 3 means 120 degree. So in this way we have two values of gamma. So therefore the third direction angle is pi by 3 or 2 pi by 3. So this is the complete solution for the first question. See, let's see next problem. If a line makes angles 90 degree, 135 degree, 45 degree with x, y and z axis respectively. Then find its direction cosines. See here, let alpha, beta, gamma are direction angles of a line. So therefore alpha is equal to 90 degree, beta is equal to 135 degree and gamma is equal to 45 degree. Now we know that once we know alpha, beta, gamma, the direction cosines are nothing but the cosine ratios of these direction angles. Let L, M, N are direction cosines of a line. So therefore we have the formula L is equal to cos alpha, M is equal to cos beta and N is equal to cos of gamma. That is L is equal to cos of 90 degree, M is equal to cos of 135 degree and N is equal to cos of 45 degree. Now L is equal to cos of 90 degree. We know that cos of 90 degree is 0. So L is equal to 0. M is equal to cos of 135 degree. This 135 degree can be written as cos of 90 degree plus 45 degree. Cos of 90 degree plus 45 degree and N is equal to cos of 45 degree, that is 1 upon root 2. So therefore L is equal to 0, M is equal to cos of 90 degree plus 45 degree. आपल्याकडे एक फॉर्म्युला आहे. We have the formula cos of pi by 2 plus theta is equal to minus sin theta. Here pi by 2 means 90 degree and theta is 45 degree. So it is minus sin of 45 degree and N is equal to 1 upon root 2. So therefore L is equal to 0, M is equal to minus 1 upon root 2 because sin 45 degree is 1 upon root 2 and N is equal to 1 upon root 2. So therefore the direction ratios of a line are 0, minus 1 upon root 2 and plus 1 upon root 2. So therefore direction cosines of a line are 0, 1 upon root 2, minus 1 upon root 2 and 1 upon root 2. So next problem. If a line has direction ratios, 4 minus 12, 18. Then find its direction cosines. Then find its direction cosines. See, direction ratios are given, means small ABC are given, and we have to find out L, M, N. In the previous lecture, we have seen the relation between direction ratios and direction cosines. I will repeat it once again here. If A, B, C, these are direction ratios, and L, M, N, these are direction cosines, then we have the relation between direction ratios and direction cosines. L is equal to plus or minus A divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. M is equal to plus or minus B divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square, and N is equal to plus or minus C divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. Only we have to use this relation to get the direction cosines if direction ratios are given. So let's see the solution. See here. Let A, B, C are direction ratios and L, M, N are direction cosines of a line. So therefore here A is equal to 4, B is equal to minus 12, and C is equal to 18. We have, as I have written the formula, means relation between direction ratios and direction cosines here, in which we require, in every direction ratio we require square root of A square plus B square plus C square. So first we find that is square root of A square plus B square plus C square is equal to square root of 4 square plus minus 12 square plus 18 square. So it is equal to square root of 4 square 16, minus 12 square 144, and plus 18 square, that is 324. 324, okay. It is equal to square root of 144, 400, it is 484. And this is nothing but the square root of 22. This is nothing but the square root of 22. So square root of A square plus B square plus C square is this one. Now we have L is equal to, see, in the formula there is given plus or minus, but whenever we are solving the examples at that time, take positive values only. Means take L is equal to A divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. M is equal to B divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. And N is equal to C divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. So therefore, using this formula, L is equal to, see, what is A? A is 4. A means this one, that is 4. 4 divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square, that is 22 here. It is 22. So 4 divided by 22, comma, M is equal to B divided by the square root of this one. So what is the value of B? B is minus 12. B is minus 12. It is minus 12 divided by 22, and N is equal to C divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. What is C? 18. So 18 divided by 22. So therefore L is equal to 2 divided by 11. M is equal to minus 6 divided by 11, and N is equal to 9 divided by 11. So therefore the direction cosines of A lie in R 2 by 11, minus 6 by 11 and 9 by 11. So if we take, here we have taken plus, plus. If we take plus or minus, then the second we get this, this become minus 2 by 11, this become plus 6 by 11 and this become minus 9 by 11 if we take the formulae with negative sign. But always take, if direction ratios are given and direction cosines we have to find out, at that time take the formulae with plus sign. So this is the complete solution for this question.